Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother. Mainstream media. Government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We are live, my friends. It is the 14th day of October 2010 on this live Thursday transmission. This is a maiden voyage, the first time we've ever broadcast 24 hours plus straight. And I want to thank everyone for joining us here today. And I want to thank the crew who have done an exemplary job preparing this 24-plus hour marathon transmission. We have a special guest joining us today, coming up later in the official 3-hour broadcast. And that, of course, is Lou Dobbs, formerly of CNN, syndicated radio broadcaster. Also coming up at 1 o'clock Central, Alan Watt, who needs no introduction, will join us to analyze all of the important news taking place in our world. I also have a rundown, a little radio/TV, prisonplanet.tv guide that I'm going to be reading over when we come back from break. And I will talk about some of the people that are going to be on the 24-plus hour broadcast today. In fact, I'm going to go over the entire list of who is going to be joining us here. Just a raft of very informed, intelligent folks helping us understand exactly what's happening on our planet. Something happened this morning, and I'm going to attempt to be calm dealing with it, but it's just a massive confirmation of everything we've talked about. And so after we go to break and I come back and break down the money bomb today, I'm going to spend much of this hour covering it. I had a chance to basically hear the equivalent of a public focus group this morning. I listened to almost an entire hour of it. I got up this morning, and I noticed that Paul Joseph Watson had written an article, and it's very moderate. It's very journalistic. I read his article. It's actually about 20 times worse than what his article even says if you have the full backstory. And I know Watson's listening right now. I'm going to have him write another story with all the links just to show people how serious this is, because this article is getting a lot of attention today. It's government trains troops to run American cities. Now, I discovered 13 years ago there was a covert plan for this. It's now declassified in public, and because they're getting ready to probably go operational with this, they're now unveiling it to the public. So we have local newscasts covering how this is happening all over the nation. But something else then happened. Of course, this ties into the upcoming total financial collapse that's been engineered. I turned on one of our local affiliates, 590 AM, the big blowtorch, formerly owned by President Lyndon Baines Johnson, the big blowtorch that covers almost the entire state of Texas. And I heard their news program, the Todd and Don Show. Todd was being serious. Don was being serious, which is a rare thing for him, at least for much of the hour, reading my article. And they actually clicked on the Army Times, they actually clicked on the local newscast, they actually read our story on air. And it's what happened next that was so amazing. They probably took that I heard 30 phone calls, and you got a good snapshot of what the American people are going to do as this unfolds. I'd say about 70% were against it. They were almost all announcing they were former military or police or current, all very well spoken. But the other 30% who called in were military and current military, and they all said that. And that they are training for this civil unrest and takeover. But aren't we happy they're doing it? They're going to save us. So just to see our article this morning, turn on the radio and it's being covered, and to see that about 70% of the callers, and that's a dead reckoning, but the vast majority were totally freaked out, were citing my radio show or the fact that they were police or former military and they'd been trained in this and they thought it was wrong. But then you had the military people calling in going, Well, we're just your patriots. I mean, we're doing a good job. We're gonna protect you from the civil unrest. And yeah, we're gonna take your guns.
Hello, this is Alex Jones with some important questions. If you're going into a battle and they give you a rifle and a sidearm, how much ammunition do you want? My answer would be all I can get. In the battle for freedom and the lives of your loved ones, food is your only ammunition. How much do you want? When do you want it? Now or after the battle starts? When will you need it? Can you buy it without proper identification? Will there be any food? Will it make your children sick? If there's a quarantine and you can't feed yourself, will you go to the gathering center and be immunized? You wipe out all these problems if you have a good food supply. Food is your ammunition to fight for your freedom and your life. How much will you need? We don't know. How much do you want? All you can get. I'm Alex Jones. I want all of you good guys to live to fight another day. Call 1-800-409-5633 or check it out on the web at efoodsdirect.com. Again, that number, 1-800-409-5633.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced colloidal silver solutions, yet many are unaware of the entire function of the Silver Lungs system and how it has been designed to deliver your silver solutions anywhere in or on the body. My name is Mario Cifaldi, and I'm the developer of the Silver Lungs generator. Not only does the Silver Lungs system produce endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions, it also comes equipped with the proper applicators and devices needed to deliver your silver solutions directly to key target areas. This includes the eyes, ears, nose, lungs, topically to the skin, and orally for the digestive system. Be sure to watch our new 7-minute video tour of the Silver Lungs system at www.silverlungs.com to learn more about how the Silver Lungs system works. As well, we are always ready to answer any questions you may have. That's www.silverlungs.com.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 2010 Moneybomb. We're going to be broadcasting for 24-plus hours here live. We're also going to air brand new, never-before-seen video interviews. We've had over 40 different interviews we've done with people like Lord Monckton, Alan Watt, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Catherine Austin Fitz, Dr. Childress, Jeffrey Smith. The list goes on and on. We've got 8 different interviews that we're going to be airing. Some are 30 minutes long, some an hour long, and some of those kick off this afternoon. I'm going to be going over that list for you here today. In fact, here in just a few minutes. But then I'm going to get into a whole bunch of issues that tie together. You know, the government has announced that they are going to take over the private pension funds and tax the living daylights out of them in the name of saving private pension funds and government pension funds, public and private. You know that they are killing the dollar and have announced they're going to hyperinflate it. It's now official. The dollar is plunging, gold is skyrocketing. You know that Mexico is in total civil war and unrest and completely collapsing, and we had a state senator on last year who admitted he was part of a secret Homeland Security board with Rick Perry for the complete collapse of Mexico and the preparation for tens of millions of refugees to try to pour into the United States. That will then be used under the SPP plans that were ordered released via FOIA by Judicial Watch in 2007, that they plan to use that crisis they've engineered as the way to bring in the official North American Union. Now, the military, for more than 20 years that we've been able to get declassified documents and leaked documents on, has been training for total takeover of the U.S. Then we saw the Pentagon last month put out a report saying they're worried about complete financial collapse and that they're going to give you basically martial law to save the society and the economy. The key to all of this is that this has all been engineered by design, and we have the proof. For over 12 years, I've been on Air 15, but for over 12 years, I have been completely wise to this plan. And I have told you that they would blow out the economy, create hyperinflation that will cause collapse of society, and that the military will then go out and take over every major town and city in the country. They've already been integrating and federalizing local police. They put in the threat fusion surveillance centers. That's all coming up. Were you guys able to get a hold of Paul Joseph Watson? Okay, I want you to get him on the line right now because his report is important, and he's only covering one facet, though, and this is so important. I want him to do a full spectrum breakdown so that people get the full image. He's such a wonderful writer and researcher and one of our fastest writers. I want to get him on air so people can hear what goes on every day behind the scenes when I talk to Kurt Nimmo, Paul, Steve, Aaron, and basically, I give them a data dump. They go and pull it all up and then put it together in an article and then add their own research to it. Because, again, a lot of times I'll have big stacks of news I'm planning to cover, and then an hour before the show, 5 minutes before the show, I'll decide to go in another direction, because we've covered this military takeover probably 1,000 times or more in the last 15 years partially, 12 years intensely. I didn't really fully figure out the takeover attack pattern until 12 years ago, and I've been absolutely right. My Police State 2000, Police State 2 the Takeover, Police State 3 Total Enslavement. You watch those films. Made 11 years ago, 10 years ago, 9 years ago. You watch the film we put out 6 months ago, Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA. It is a complete snapshot of how they'll implode the economy, how they'll roll it out. It's all of my research crystallized and boiled down into one integrated system. And to have this article this morning and just turn on local #1 talk station and to hear them seriously talking about it, not making fun of me like they've always done, was heartening. But then listening to the callers, it was buoying as well to hear of 30 calls I listened to. I'd say it was around 30 calls. They're taking a lot. They're probably taking 10 calls per segment, maybe more than 30. The vast majority, I'd say 7 out of 10, may have even been more, being conservative, knew what was happening, said they're imploding the economy by design. This is a takeover operation. Now, current military was calling in saying, yeah, we're training for this, but you ought to thank us. Because they're good people. They've just been given the brainwashed template that, oh, this financial problem just started. It's an accident. But no, they've been training for this forever. It's just now they're coming out in the open because they want to sell you on it for when they go operational. Now, we've got Watson now on the phone. I want to go ahead and punch him up as soon as possible. I want to go ahead and just direct him right now. And then I'm going to get into the latest information on the money bomb. And I want to try to calmly cover every facet of this because this needs to be chronicled. This needs to be broken down. People need to see it in its full context and what it deals with. And then the other important part of the equation, how is the public going to respond to this? Because they're sending out their trial balloons now. If you buy it, they are going to implement this for sure. If you don't buy into it, they're going to stop and just keep their infiltration and brainwashing and slow federalization and militarization going. And that's not good either, but it's the lesser of two evils. And then that buys us more time to wake more people up. Okay? And what did Ron Paul say in his big Tea Party speech this week that got so much attention? He said they're going to implode the economy.